Well, this is just such an awful situation unfolding in Afghanistan. The death toll continues to rise over the last couple of hours, and we know that's going to continue to get worse in coming days as people sort through the rubble and find bodies which have been killed during this earthquake. Now, the earthquake struck late on Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning local time, but because this is such a remote part of Afghanistan, we're only learning just in the last few hours how bad this earthquake has been. And the situation is really dire as well for the Afghan diaspora, which lives all over the world, including tens of thousands of Afghan people over there in Australia who are trying to get in touch with loved ones, but because mobile connection is down because of this disaster, they're trying to figure out if they've lost people on the ground. Now, we're hearing heartbreaking stories from the few people who have been able to make contact, people saying that they look across at their village and they've lost dozens of family members. One man described it as a mass grave because there are so many bodies. And now the concern is, what is the rescue effort going to look like? The Taliban is not used to dealing with a disaster of this scale, and aid agencies have left in the last year. So it's going to be difficult to figure out how to actually rescue the people who've been affected.
What can you tell us about the region, Avani? How difficult will it be to mount a rescue?
Well, because this is such a remote part of Afghanistan, it's quite a hilly region. We know these villages are at the bottom of these mountains. It's going to be really difficult to get these rescue teams in. And the concern that the Taliban has raised over the last few hours is if there's no rescue teams able to get into these places, then more people will die because they won't be able to be rescued under this rubble. So certainly a very urgent situation in that regard. We know that some military helicopters have been flying in, but the Taliban's now calling for international aid, more rescue teams to come in from around the world. In the last hour or so, we have heard from the Pakistan government, which has come forward and said that they will offer some support to Afghanistan, but we are yet to hear from countries like Australia who have withdrawn their officials from the ground in Afghanistan. So certainly that's going to be a difficult situation politically for those Western nations to navigate, because countries like the US and Australia don't acknowledge the Taliban as an official government.
What else has the Taliban-led government said? How are they handling this very difficult situation?
Well, the Taliban said that it's sending in rescue teams. It's actually on the ground there. But from the images that we are seeing from this region, it's clear that they don't have the resources to help people on the ground there. We're seeing these makeshift health clinics developing in these very remote villages. We know that there aren't enough people. The Taliban does not really have enough first responders, police and ambulances and so on, to help with these rescue efforts. So certainly it's going to need help in that respect. And this is a country that has dealt with so much, not just in the last year since the Taliban takeover in August last year, but before that there's been mass fighting across this country. Since the Taliban took over, mass famine has spread because there's an economic crisis, because countries like the US have withdrawn aid in the form of billions of dollars. Cash is not going into this country. We know there's been a crackdown on women and girls going to school and working and going to uni. This is a country that has dealt with unimaginable horrors, and now it's dealing with this earthquake. What it's saying is the worst in 20 years for this country.
Avani Dias, thank you for updating us.